Welcome to Email Marketing Tips Part 2. If you missed Part 1, please go back and watch that as well. And there we talked about how to make sure you have effective and compelling subject lines to get people to open your email. Now, today we're going to talk about another important part of email marketing, and that is how to avoid the spam traps. So, the spam traps are what the email service providers use to determine if your email is legitimate or not, or if it's spam or junk and should not go to the person's inbox. So let's talk a little bit about kind of the history of this. When email marketing first came out, it was kind of like the old Wild West in early America, where there really weren't a lot of rules, there wasn't a lot of law, and people were just spamming other people like crazy. They were just, and spam is basically something that you haven't asked for. It's like getting junk mail, physical junk mail in your mailbox. Yeah, you get your bills that are supposed to come to you, and a letter from your grandma, but you may be getting a lot of things that are just junk, where people want you to buy something or take an action or something like that. And that's what junk email or spam email is. You haven't asked for it. But boy, in the beginning, like say the Wild West days, people just really took advantage of email as a way to try and push products, services, buy Viagra, earn $100 million today in 2 hours, just all kinds of crazy things. Obviously, people got frustrated with this. They weren't asking for that information. They didn't like it. And so email service providers, some of the common ones, obviously, Gmail, Microsoft, Yahoo, AOL, and others, came up with this idea of spam filter, in which they use a filter to try to determine if that email you sent is a legitimate email that should go to the person's inbox, or if it's spam or junk and should go to the spam or junk folder. Obviously, you want your emails to go to the person's inbox. Most people, the great majority of people, do not check their spam and junk. Why? Because if there's something in the spam or junk folder, then why are they going to waste their time looking at it? Because it's spam or junk, according to their email provider. However, sometimes good emails end up in the spam or junk folder, but there are some best practices that you can use to avoid your email being sent to the spam or junk folder, and get that email into their inbox so that they will open it and you can have them take the action of your choice. So, are we ready for some examples? Let's see what we're talking about here. Basically, a couple of real important spam triggers to be aware of. Almost anything with the word free in it, so any email that has the word free in it, whether it's in the subject line or the body of the email, is going to trip the spam filter and not make it to the inbox. And as the examples show, this could be any, using the free in any way. Free offer, free today, free money, free sample, free access, free test drive, free trial, free whatever. And that includes, as the spam filter, started filtering out emails that contain the word free, human nature is that people try to bypass the spam filters, and so they started making variations on the word free. And so you can see some examples here. They might put a space between each letter, so the spam filter thinks that space means it's a new word. Or they might try to stick a period in there, so they think it's the end of a sentence and it's not the complete spelling, F-R-E-E. Or they might use capitals, or some variation to try and get around the spam filter. So now the spam filters, are starting to pick up on these variations as well. Another common thing you want to avoid is the phrase no and fill in the blank. So some examples: no cost, no money, no obligation, no hidden fees. Because basically, as people realized their emails were getting caught in the spam filter by using the word free, they started trying to express free in a different way, i.e. no cost, no money, no fees, etc., which is just other ways of saying free. So the spam filters obviously then started picking, those emails got through, people got upset, the email service provider started then adding that to their filters, and so now anything that has the phrase no and another word is most likely going to get caught up in a spam filter. Now, there's some other things that can be important in also just the style of the email that might trip a spam filter and keep it from going to the inbox. So any kind of abnormal text styles might do that. If you're using all capital letters, what you might want to do to try and get attention, one time only, limited time offer, only today. Well, you want to try and avoid that. As we mentioned earlier, spacing between the letters or putting periods in places they don't belong so that it's not a real word anymore. Those a lot of times are going to get caught up in the spam filters. Or if you use a lot of spam words together, it's hard to avoid these spam trigger words or phrases completely, but you can. And so even though it's tough to avoid using them completely, you do want to definitely try to minimize any use of them. But you definitely don't want to use an excessive amount of spam words altogether in one email. So you don't want to say limited time only, free today, all capitals, make money online, da da da, because that is definitely going to trip a spam filter. Well, a few other things that you want to make sure you keep in mind. The fonts and the formatting of the email, and really simple is better. So black, simple font, black color, simple formatting. You don't want to have red lettering or green lettering. You want to try and avoid, like maybe using a yellow highlight over a certain phrase or something, because that'll get picked up. It's just a simple, clean font, a simple format. Try to avoid, bold, italics, underline. Just again, simple and clean is going to be much better. Now, you usually are going to be including a link in your email because you want people to read the email, click the link, and then take an action. That might send them to a video, or might send them to your blog, or might send them to an offer or a training of some sort. The key is you want to limit the number of links that you put in the email. Really just 1 or 2 links at the most. If you're just stuffing your email full of links, then that looks spammy and is probably going to get caught up by the spam filter. And another big thing that is starting to happen is you want to make sure the destination link is not blacklisted. Blacklisted meaning, the website is seen as, spammy, or something's, maybe it's got a virus, or it's seen as something that's not valid. If you're sending people, to like a YouTube video or a Facebook post or another social media site or your own blog, then it's extremely unlikely those are going to be blacklisted. Usually where you'll see this come up as a possibility is if you're sending a direct link to maybe an affiliate platform website. Some of the common ones are ClickBank, JVZoo, Warrior Plus, or other similar platforms. Because people do sometimes spam those type of links, they may get blacklisted from time to time. And therefore, the email service providers, they're getting smarter, the spam filters are getting smarter. So you want to try and cloak your link using, some kind of maybe URL shortener, like a Google URL shortener, Bitly, or a similar service, or there's other link cloaking, WordPress plugins and services as a way to try and keep them from seeing that the ultimate destination that you're sending people to. So it looks like you're sending them to one place, but it's actually just cloaking and going to redirect them to the ultimate destination. Now, I say that with the understanding that the email service providers are starting to pick up on following that link to the ultimate destination, the ultimate website, and if they see that the ultimate destination is a website that's been blacklisted, then that's going to trip up your email. And so there are link cloakers out there that can prevent, so it makes it look like the cloaked URL is the final destination, even though it really is moving on further. You are going to pay for those, but they are out there, and you can just do some research and find a good product for that. Okay, so let's go on. Images, usually not recommended in an email for a couple simple reasons. Spam filters can't read the image, and so they're going to think you're trying to trick them, and they'll just block it, or that they think they might be adult content, and they're not going to take the chance, and they're going to block it. All right, so we touched on a few things that are going to help you avoid the spam filters, but what I'd like to try and interest you in today is a list of 382 spam triggers, words and phrases that are going to be a huge help in making sure your emails go to the inbox and not the spam or junk folder. And I'd like to give those to you today and for free. But not only this 382 spam triggers, I want to give you something else today for free as well. It is a limited time offer. It's one of my products. It's called Explosive Email Marketing. And it's training that is going to, like it says, skyrocket your email open rates and your conversions. How does it do that? Well, you're going to get not only the 382 spam triggers, but also 353 subject lines that will basically force subscribers to open your email because those subject lines are so compelling and so intriguing. They just are going to want to open that and see what's inside the email. And then my training, Emails That Convert, in which you learn how to write an email that is going to persuade the subscribers to click through and take that desired action and hopefully make a purchase, buy something, and help you make a sale. So today, again, this is a limited time offer, so I'd encourage you to go ahead and jump on this if this is of interest to you. You can get the list of 382 spam trigger words and phrases that you need to avoid, and my explosive email marketing that includes 353 subject lines and my Emails That Convert training. All you got to do is just follow the arrow down to the description box below this video, click on the link, and you can get free access today. But go ahead and take advantage before I close this down, as I don't want to get this into the hands of too many people. So be one of the select few that can get limited access while it's still available. Thanks, and go ahead and click that link now.